Cool. Can everyone hear me okay? I would have hoped so. I feel like I got the mic working. I accidentally killed one of the Joltics there when we were starting up, and I don't know how I did it. I tried to get him back, and I think he's dead. So, he's a goner, basically. Thank you for coming to watch, I suppose. I don't have a big plan for today other than we've got plenty of packs to open. I'm going to do a giveaway, but I'm going to hinge the giveaway on something pretty interesting. And if we get a playset as ours, I'll give one away. Because obviously that's what everyone's digging for from this set. We want to make sure we're hitting Zards, and that's what everyone wants. Just making sure sound's alright. Let me know in the chat if the music's too loud. I don't think the music is too loud. I think you should be able to hear me over it okay. Yeah, I guess the plan for the evening is crack packs. We'll sort of profile the set as we go. I feel like that's... I'd like to give my opinion on some of the cards and some of the things you can play it with. I'd like to get your guys' opinion as well in the chat, to be fair. See what you guys think of everything going forward. We can do some deck profiles later. You can help me build a deck. We can build some decks, and we can do some viewer battles as well, so we can try and play against some of you guys. That's pretty much it. That's my only plan, to be fair. So I guess we crack the new set and we start with the pre-release kits. Do you want? I guess we open pre-release kits first. I don't know what we're looking for out of these. This is pretty terrible. I don't really see it being played in any decks. All the promos this time around are kind of bad. Volcanion is, I think, the best of a bad bunch, but it's still not fantastic, to be fair. It's probably going to see play in Reshizard. It's so situational. The fact you have to go second when going first is such a power play in the game anyway. Kind of limits this card. It's not as good as Power Heater Volk, in my opinion. I don't think it's as good. But I don't hate it. It's not terrible. The fact we're getting 2 of these is nice. You know, maybe somewhere down the line it becomes incredibly playable with a certain archetype, and it's still a good card. So having 2 of those is nice. Having 3 of those is even better. You know, all the other promos are pretty jank. I'd maybe like a Persian, a 4th Volk. Can't complain too much. If we get a 5th, I'll give it away. Oh, a 5th Volk. Beautiful. This is just literally the Volcanion pack. A 6th Volk. Very impressive. Fantastic. No Volk. Another Melmetal. Brilliant. Let's go again. What are we going to have? And a Stack Attacker. Cool. So the only one we missed out on was Persian. Persian's alright. I kind of like the idea of making a Cat Day deck just because it's terrible. But it's kind of funny. Greens is nice. We've already got a playset of those. Picked up those now. Plenty of Cynthias. Oh, thank God I have my playset of Janine. Can't wait to put that in every deck. 10 Metal Core Barriers, and thank God we can play 2 Crabominable decks at the same time. So happy. What are we digging for from this set, really? Dedenne. It'd be nice to get a Dedenne in a decent rarity that isn't just the half art. I wouldn't really be too fussed though. That is a good pack to start the day. This is a deck that I've been playing for maybe the past 2 weeks. I really enjoy it. It's kind of limited a little bit that I feel like there's not enough dark support. I try to play it with so many things like Dark Ride Prism, and it's just too situational. Greninja and Zoroark tag team works, in my opinion, best with Incineroar at the moment. The problem being is that obviously you're a stage 2 deck that hinges on a bit of consistency issues. Rayquaza has seen quite a lot of success recently paired with Vikavolt. I always preferred it with Naganadel, but I really like this deck so far, and I think depending on the things that come out in the next couple of sets, cheeky Dark Patch reprint, this could be pretty good going forward. I mean, I tell you what, alright, I'm happy already. We pulled nothing from these packs. Okay, I wouldn't be too happy, but it's decent. I love this card. I'm really excited to play it. I think it's really pretty. On top of that, I really like how versatile it is for all the different metas we're going to have going forward. It would be interesting to see if they're going to print any more Fairy Charms. I know they kept memories going for a while, so like the memories for Silvally, even when he was quite an old card. He's going to rotate, and yet some of his memories stay in standard, which is kind of weird. But with a couple more Fairy Charms, this could be an incredibly strong archetype. It already is very good. Having the Lightning one at the moment, the Ability one, the Ultra Beast one. Obviously, the only matchup that's really 50-50 or you could potentially struggle with is Charizard. So, you never know. But yeah, good 2 packs. Really happy with those. Just going to tone the music down a little bit. Charger Bug. This is a cool card that people like, to be fair. I think it's kind of memey. It's not good, in my opinion, but it's interesting for sure. We got this. I mean, the first 3 packs have been pretty sensational, to be fair. This is an absolutely incredible card. Really good. Obviously, this has been doing bits in Japan. It's been taking quite a lot of tournaments over there. It's actually replaced Big Bucephalon GX, as the mainstay in the Fire deck because of Fire Crystal and because of Welder, because it's just so easy to get going. and it's so much easier to have the energies in your hand and get them into play. And obviously then you're allowed to run less Pokemon. You're not having to play Naganadel. It adds a lot of consistency to the deck. And it's a really hard hitter for a 1 prize as well. Gives you access to Shrine. You know, takes the opponent's choice band damage off you. It's really nice, to be fair. This is terrible. We'll not talk about him. We'll move on. This is a very good card. Obviously, people that are aware with Fairy Charm should know what they do. Martial Arts Dojo. It's interesting. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's brilliant. We could see it sort of worm into some decks as a 1 or 2 of. Is it better than Shrine? Depends really on the deck, but I think Shrine, in general, for getting more damage out there, is better for the decks that would use this right now. But it's definitely interesting for sure. Next pack, let's see what we can get. This Pikachu is adorable. Surprise box, what a card. You know, because if you're about to lose the game, just give your opponent an even better way to lose the game, to win the game. Just give them some sick supporters or give them the DCEs back or something like that. Fantastic. What a great card. Arbok, nothing to talk about. Yep, okay, so I feel like there's a bit of a theme going here, and I feel like we're doing pretty well, to be fair, out of these packs. I think that's 4 or 5 packs in. Pretty happy with that, can't really complain. That's one of those that looks really, really nice. Is a really good card. We'll see a lot of play in a lot of different decks at different levels. You know, it's done really well in Japan. It's quite a staple in their decks over there at the moment. I like it. It's a pretty card. Can't complain. It's playable. So, Pokegear. Interesting enough as well, you can play the old prints from Heart Gold, Soul Silver if you have any of those knocking about. It's a really pretty variant of that card also if you don't want to buy into the secret rares. Whenever your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin. Fantastic. And then choose their new active Pokemon. I'm not about that, to be honest. I don't want to stir the brain, so I'm just going to pass on that card. It seems pretty bad. Yeah, Charismatic Canine. I am on a bit of a lucky streak. Yeah, I can't really complain, to be fair. This Kartana is really interesting. I actually think it's pretty good. It's got free retreat, which obviously just lets it sit on the bench nicely, and then it's your promote for the turn. Gives you a free retreat out of that. Doing 130 as well when you're on 4 prizes really isn't bad. I think the problem this one card has going for it is that Sledgehammer. I could actually be wrong with Sledgehammer. Does your opponent have to be on 4 prizes? I'm having a brain fart. If you have to be on 4 prizes, then I think Sledgehammer's just better because it hits a better weakness right now. Grass isn't so good for hitting weakness against things. However, we could see water surfacing as a bigger type now that fire's got a big target on its back for the new set. So that could be pretty interesting. This is a fantastic card. Is it good? I don't know. I can't make that decision yet, but I do like it a lot. Playing around with units, triples, and double energies and stuff like that is really funny just to be able to slap them down, ace rollers, slam them straight back down again. It's a card that I think would be really fun to use in Whimsicott. Maybe even paired with something like Wailord, you know, if you can slap all those unit energies on it, DCEs. They're going to struggle to do 300 in 1 turn. You pick it straight back up, put it straight back down. Obviously, you've got Lusamine to loop the Acer Rollers and stuff. It's really situational, but it's a good card, to be fair. The fact that it's a stage 2 does hinder it, but it would obviously be way too strong if it was on a stage 1. It would be incredibly good. Little Squirtle boy, there he is. Persian GX. So this is a really interesting card. I actually got this at pre-release, and it was absolutely terrible because it does 10 damage. 10 damage for 3 energies, right? It was my only GX, so I never got the ability to use the ability. So I never got the search effect. I was attaching 3 energies to it manually. I had no triple boost energies to do 10 damage. And the only way to boost the damage potential for me was to let Pokemon die. And by that point, I was losing the game. So it was pretty poor in pre-release. The GX attack was nice to just do a clean 150 and then sort of bring it back to the bench out of danger. In standard format, I think it's interesting. It's seen a couple of plays with Zoroark, and it kind of functions like, well, it is sort of the ancestor to Vespiquen and Flareon. So, and they saw a lot of play. I think the one thing that hinders this card is it gives up 2 prizes. Obviously, Vespiquen was really good because it was 1 prize. It didn't matter that it had kind of lower health because it just sort of hit big. I mean, then when it died, you weren't too bothered. But giving up 2 prizes kind of sucks at the moment, especially with tag teams floating about. And I feel like you just can't kill a tag team with Vengeance anyway. You need so much damage. There's nothing to buff colorless attacks, obviously, unless you're using Fighting Dojo. So it's not for me at the moment, but it's definitely an interesting card that could become its own archetype going forward. Venomoth, I love this card. It's so bad. It's really, really bad. The fact that you have to be losing to play Lieutenant Surge to get both of these effects off is really poor. The fact that it's that many energies for 110 damage, it's not good, but I love it. It's so cute. It's got big eyes. Brilliant. I like it. I want to try it, so we'll try and build a deck around that eventually. Another Melmetal, fantastic. I like that Krokorok. He looks pretty menacing, to be fair. This is known at my local league as the Glamour Ekans because he looks quite glamorous. He's very sparkly and shiny. Looks quite beautiful. Surprise Fist, brilliant way to name an attack. Playing rock paper scissors, and in the rules it dictates that rock paper scissors is, a game of skill. It can't be randomly decided, so be careful about getting caught with that at big events. If you're playing Pyukumuku at a big event, well, there we go. There's enough said about that, right? This is a really cool card. This is a card that when it got revealed, we all sort of looked at it and went, wow, geez, that's so busted, like they broke the game. Having to lose is really poor. Having to be behind in the game to play it. It only really gets effect, I think, in my opinion, in Zoroark decks where you can use the trade ability to get into more supporters. But there are a few turns where I think 3 supporters really completely turns the tide of the game. And I feel like you'd rather just play a consistency card over this card, in my opinion, at the moment. I know it slipped into a couple of Japanese lists as a one-of. For me, I'd rather just play another supporter. And obviously a lot of the decks at the moment are going really turbo, like really aggressive turn 1 or 2 to try and take the lead anyway. Obviously counter energy is really good. Counter energy, you have to be losing the game, but if you're not losing the game then it's kind of bad. I think it just falls into the same category as that obviously you have to be behind. Counter Catcher would see immense play if you didn't have to be losing, but you do, so that kind of sucks for it also. Togekiss, not much to be said, it's pretty bad. That's really cute. It's not good though. The babies are back in this set for the first time ever. Once during your turn, flip a coin if heads heal 60, your turn ends. It's not very good. The best one is Cleffer in my opinion. If you flip heads, you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw a new hand of 6 cards. Really helpful in the right situation. It came clutch in pre-release for a couple of my opponents and for me at certain times. It wasn't brilliant, let's be honest. Fire Crystal is a fantastic card from the new set. Putting energy into your hand is always nice. And it's even better that it's a specific type, because for fire variants of the deck now, that baby Blacephalon that we talked about, or even for Charizard and Reshiram, it combos really well with Welder, which I think we got in the last pack and I forgot to talk about, so if we hit that now we can have a look at that. Another Melmetal, fantastic. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Melmetals now, brilliant, can't wait. This card isn't brilliant, I don't think. The Ghastly's got a really nice effect that when you, if we can find the Ghastly, so if you would be knocked out, you just get to search your deck for 2 Haunter. A couple of people have asked me if this sort of triggers, say Ghastly is your only active Pokemon, you still search for the Haunter because you resolve the effects of attacks before the damage and the prize cards are calculated. So this is really cool. I suppose in a Gengar deck it prevents you from the donk. Obviously having 40 health, it's pretty easy to get donked as well. But the problem for this card is it's just not very good. You could maybe build something around this with, Shadow Pain and Celebi Prism. Get all your Gengars out and then Celebi Prism them back into your hand, and then, you're doing loads of damage next turn. But I think it's just too slow, to be honest, and it doesn't do enough, weirdly. Like 6 damage counters for free as an ability sounds amazing. But I just don't think it's good enough, to be fair, so... I really want to pull a couple more Guardy Sylveons from this set. I'd also like to get some more Zoro Greninjas. I could build that tonight and give people a couple of games. This card's extremely bad. I sort of, the first time I read it, I misread it, and I thought, it wasn't with the effects of a trainer card. And it was still terrible. And then when I found out it's with the effect of a trainer card, I thought, yep, that's absolutely awful. This is quite a good card. It's literally an Ultra Ball, but it fetches you 2 Pokemon instead of 1, and you can only fetch Pokemon EX and GX Lightning types with them. It's nice for fetching DNA in Pika-Rom, it's nice for fetching Pika-Rom, it's nice for fetching Zeraora, you know, Tapu Koko GX. It's really interesting. I kind of prefer Ultra Ball personally still, because obviously you need the Tapu Koko Prism, it can fetch you Jirachi or Zapdos if you're playing that build. But it is a really nice card, to be fair, as a 1 or a 2 of. I don't dislike it at all. Abominable, this is terrible. It could possibly be the ugliest Pokemon I've ever seen. I don't know. I just don't know. I question existence when I stare at that thing in the eyes. So we'll move on from that one. Thank you for the Spinder emote, Paul. Adam Man, I can see you've tuned in. Omnipoker here, yes, good stuff, guys. This set is not bad, actually. I kind of like it. Secret Rare Fire Flint for £5. Yeah, they were absolutely nothing at one point, and they have completely risen in price. It's mental, really, when you think about it. But it's because obviously they're in the subset that doesn't really exist too much on shelves anymore. They're really low print run. It's kind of my Zoroark spiked for a little bit, I think, but then they did the full art box. But obviously they're not going to do a full art Fiery Flint box. So yeah, cards like that, it's nice to have them appreciating value though, especially when you were smart enough to see how good it was and sit on them, just like Let Loose Marshadow. This is a good card. Discard a Fire Energy, draw 3 cards. Really interesting, actually. I kind of like this going forward. After rotation, I feel like this is some really nice draw that a lot of decks will miss. I've also talked about the Ninetales from Lost Thunder as a really nice card after rotation. I think it's got an ability that says if you discard 2 Fire Energies, it's just a free Lysander, which is really good because obviously we're not going to have many gusting effects after rotation. We're going to have Counter Catcher, and you know, maybe something gets printed that we're not aware of, but it's unlikely, to be fair. Pokegear, we spoke about that as we hit the secret rare earlier. Not another one, please, Lord. Stunfisk is a really fun card. It looks absolutely awful. I love the way this Pokemon looks in the worst and the best ways. But it pairs really well with the Spiritomb in this set. The Spiritomb is a holo, so it's quite harder to pull. I think it has 60 health, and it's got an ability that says every turn you can place a damage counter on it. And obviously that combos quite nicely with Electric Trap, allowing you to do more damage for the amount of Pokemon you have in play that have damage counters on them. Raging Thunder's nice as well because it allows you to do 30 and sort of spread the damage among your other Stunfisks and stuff. I think what this deck's really missing at the moment is a threat in Standard that is weak to Lightning. If there was something knocking about that was weak to Lightning, it'd be really interesting to see how well this deck could do. There's nothing really weak to Dark anymore either. Dormwings is kind of seeing its day right now. And obviously, so Spiritomb can't really take advantage of anything either. But be interesting going forward. Obviously that's going to be in Standard for another 2 years now, seeing as they release in the same set. So maybe we could see that do well at some point. This is a cool card that I've struggled to pull quite a lot in real life. It's kind of nice. It's probably the better Arcanine we've had in a couple of years, to be fair. It just does high damage. It does what fire Pokemon do. You know, you can attach and you can welder. You're doing 120 and then you're setting up your bench as well. Really interesting. Could see play as a one prize deck. If you love Arcanine, you could probably make this work. But if there are better cards out there, I believe. This is really cool. I saw Joe Bernard do a deck profile on this. Really, really interesting card. I love mill decks and I love the idea of trying to make this work. I always try to make the Rhyperior from Burning Shadows work, and I did a little bit, but this seems a little bit better. Obviously you've got the Diglett that when you use Giovanni's Exile, you get to mill an extra card if you discard Diglett. And Giovanni's Exile I think just discards 2 of your bench Pokemon without damage counters. Interesting, could possibly work. There's another Stunfisk. Nothing else in here really worth talking about. Samson Oak. Yep, let's not talk about that. This is interesting. It's a VS Seeker basically, but instead of it going to your hand, it goes on the top of your deck. The problem for me with this in Standard is having the bench space. I maybe see it a bit more versatile in Expanded because you've got Skyfield, but then why would you not just play VS Seeker? You know, a lot of the times in Expanded they're playing a lower count of supporters anyway because of the VS Seeker card, so this card kind of seems a bit pointless to me, but it's not awful. It could be better in the future, we're not too sure. Wigglytuff, yeah, that's it. It's a Wigglytuff, and we move on. Pretty much, that's my opinion on that card. So this, right, this actually won me a couple of games at my pre-release, because no one sort of knew what it did, and we played it with the Persian that gives it a free attack, so you know you don't have to worry about running the psychic energies or anything. So I'd hit like his Buzzwole Pheromosa a bit, and then he'd retreat, and twice in the best of 3 I just went cool Esper, and I just hit it for like 300 damage a time. It's really interesting. I don't think it's good, but someone could make it your working standard. If you're looking for a Cataday deck, it fits in, I think. Triple acceleration energy obviously is kind of like it's like the spiritual reprint of double colourless energy. It's not as good because obviously it gets discarded at the end of your turn. Some decks can actually make a better use of this than double colourless energy. It allows cards like Persian GX that we talked about to get that attack off instantly. You know, with one attachment they get to attack, and then even though the energy gets discarded, a double colourless wouldn't quite fulfill the energy requirement, so it is really nice in that regard. It's fun in decks like Whimsicott, where you can just slap it down and it's an extra 90 damage for the turn. It's a very good card, but by and large I don't think it's as good as DCE. Purely because obviously it discards, and I think they know that as well when they were printing it. There was a big meme when everyone was like, oh, I can't believe they're going to give us triple energy, everyone wanted DCE banned, and it's not as good at all. There's still a good chance that we see DCE come back in the future. Dodrio, I really like this artwork. Tri-attack, you know, it's one of those things that it's famous for in the games. A colourless attack that does water, fire and electric damage, kind of confusing. But I like the artwork, it corresponds nicely with the name of the attack. Nothing to really bother about though, it's pretty terrible. Another Persian, we've spoke about this already. Nothing else really interesting in this pack so much. Diglett, this is the Diglett we were talking about. Underground work. If you discard it with the effect of Giovanni's Exile, you get to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So yeah, literally, like if you're playing obviously the Rhydon, while we've still got DC in format as well, which is really good for that deck at the moment. You know, if you've got 2 Diglett benched, you get to use Giovanni's Exile, discard 2 of the Diglets, discard the top 2 of their deck, and then you get to use Rhydon to discard the top 5. So you can technically with rescue stretches and stuff, with the perfect setup, you can probably have a couple of turns where you're milling 5 to 7 cards, which can be really strong against certain decks. Volcanion, we don't need any more of these. We got 6 promos, so it's nice to have those. Fire Crystals, not electric energies. Fire Crystals, 2 of those, really nice moving forward. It's a good card. This may rival Crabominable for the ugliest Pokemon ever. It's also nothing good to talk about, so we'll move on from that. What are you guys looking to test from the new sets then? Is there any decks that you're really interested in, or I know obviously everyone wants to play the Reshiram Charizard, but are there any decks that you think have gone kind of under the radar that you want to try? And speaking of under the radar decks, Whimsicott GX is getting actually quite a lot of profiles from people in the YouTube community. I think I saw Joe Bernard again do another profile on this, and it's really, really interesting, to be fair. Its ability is really funny. You know, if they flip that heads, then you go completely undamaged from your opponent's attacks. So even if they hit you for 50,000 damage, Whimsicott's flipping heads and you're surviving forever. You can't reflip that with Fliptini, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would be incredible. Energy Blow, really similar to God of War GX. The fact that it does more damage per every energy on it, scales that way, is really nice. You know, it doesn't have the ability that God of War had, but the GX attack kind of makes up for it also, because just searching for 5 cards is really nice. But yeah, if anyone wants a deck profile on that, I know Omnipoke and Joe Bernard did one, so I'd go check that out because I feel like he explained it the best. What is TAE? Will be amazing with the Unpheasant that's in Unified Minds. I'm not actually familiar with the Unpheasant. And Zora Ninja Dark Incineroar is really good. I've really enjoyed that. And same as Greninja. Yeah, it's the same as Greninja, yeah, basically. Victory Bell. Yep, that's a classic Victory Bell card for you, to be fair. We spoke about Charger Bug. Another Fire Crystal again. Got nearly a play set of those, which is nice. That's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad pack, to be fair. Nothing really of note there to talk about, so we can move on from that one quite swiftly. I love this new Oddish artwork. It's probably going to be replacing the Burning Shadows Oddish for me. I've got a couple of German ones called Mirapla, so I'll be sad to see them go, but it just looks too cute. And actually having paralysis on a coin flip is relatively helpful as well. There's another Arcanine. I've struggled to pull this quite a lot in real life. I've probably opened close to 3 boxes now. I only pulled 2 Mismagius and only 1 of these, and they're all sort of cards I'd like to get hold of to be able to playtest. This seal is nothing to talk about, but there is a very nice Dugong in this set that's seen quite a lot of play in Japan. It's quite a good counter to Zoroark. Kills Zoruas for a triple colourless energy. And obviously the triple colourless energy would get discarded at the end of your turn anyway, so the discard effect really is negated. And it's really nice basically just to be able to snipe 60 on maybe 2 Fire Weak Pokemon. Obviously you can't hit the bench for weakness, but with a Choice Band this is hitting 180 on a Charizard and Reshiram, which is really helpful, and would leave 60 on a bench Pokemon to set up a further knockout. But it's just good for taking out those little basics, you know, Littens, if Incineroar gets big, or Zoruas, Rockruffs, all of the above. It's really nice for that, and I think that's really why it's been seeing a lot of play. This Marshadow is a very good card. It's really nice that it hits Baby Buzz for weakness as well at the moment, while Baby Buzz stays in the format with us. 10 damage, seems pretty weak at first, but the fact that if they're an Ultra Beast you can hit 60 more. I think it also hits perfect numbers to kill the new Kartana, which we were talking about earlier. And just having, you know, half a field blower and an ability is quite nice. You just got to have the bench space to play it down, get rid of a stadium, and then this gets discarded anyway, so it doesn't actually reserve that bench space for the whole game. Having a retreat of 1 is nice, because if you're playing it in decks with Jirachi or basically Jirachi, or, you know, any decks that play a skateboard, it's nice that you can get it out of the active nice and quick. So yeah, that's a good card. This War Turtle's not really worth talking about. Reverse Growlithe, nice enough. Yeah, basically, Matt, I just opened, I got a staff box for judging pre-releases, and I've attended maybe 6 or 7 pre-releases now. So I've had hold of a lot of the set, basically. I've also got friends that I've been able to trade with for stuff from the set that I needed as well. And none of them have either packed Arcanines or Mismagius or anything either, so they're a little bit hard to come by right now, but obviously we expect that with a set so big. It's obviously marginally bigger than Lost Thunder by I think nearly 20 to 30 cards, which is huge when you think about how good we held sets like Breakpoint, and Breakpoint was what, nearly 100 cards less than this. So Energy Spinner, very interesting. This actually got translated in Spanish to Energy Fidget Spinner, and everyone thought over here we would get Energy Fidget Spinner. Kind of happy we didn't. I feel like the kids at my league would literally collect millions of them. But it's not a bad card. It seems a bit weak. The thing that I don't understand about cards like this is I know they want to print things that are interesting and, you know, different for the community, but you take a look at like a card like Professor's Letter, and that wasn't a fantastic card. It wasn't brilliant, but it was better than this. And Professor's Letter, I feel like it's just one of those weird cards that should always be in the format, like Pokeball and, you know, probably Great Ball. They're not too good, but they're just good enough for beginners and stuff. But this isn't terrible. You know, on your second turn you get a slightly stronger effect than Professor's Letter. You get an extra energy, but on every other turn of the game you get a weaker effect. So it's not awful. Nothing to rave about. It didn't get a secret rare. I don't think it got a secret rare anyway. If it did, well, you never know, we might pack one. Another Blacephalon's nice, 2 of those. We need 4 of those for the deck, and I believe we already have the Blacephalon GXs, and they don't show up here, so they mustn't exist. I'm pretty sure we should have those if we're going to build that deck later on. How come you're not a fan of the Marshadow? What do you not like about it? Another Melmetal, absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy to be getting those. This card's nothing to talk about, but the artwork's really sad in this, to be fair. They always print Cubone arts with like really depressed faces, and everyone will remember that one from Fates Collide where he's sat in a park next to a mother and their son just crying, and it's pretty depressing. This artwork is meant to depict the scene basically where Team Rocket kill Marowak for the first time. As depressing as that sounds, and that sort of leads into the lore as to why, you know, Cubone has no mum. If you've played the either yellow, red or blue, you'll know that obviously this is the whole thing that unfolds with the tower in Lavender Town, and she's the ghost. So it's a really interesting artwork, really nice sort of, you know, set in a story. Kind of sad at the same time, but I like that they've taken the past couple of sets and sort of really written things into the artwork. It seems like they've cared a lot more about some of the stuff they pumped out in XY, and I was a fan of XY, but the artwork to me now is just is so much better in my opinion. Ultra Forest Carton Boy. That's not very good. We'll forget that. Honchkrow GX is a card that I'm really interested in trying, so having the Murkrows is nice. That one's not standard. However, I believe there might be an old Astonish one. Flip a coin if heads, choose one card from your opponent's hand without looking. It's weak to lightning, it's got one retreat. It's weak to lightning, got one retreat. I think the text is kind of different and it might have 10 extra health, so it's a shame we can't play the old one, to be fair. There's a Dugong, we don't have one of those yet, very nice card. We spoke about that previously. Yeah, Zora Ninja is something that I've been testing a lot in real life. I really like it with Incineroar. Me and my friend tried to sort of get it working with Naganadel and the Beast Rings. It sounds really promising, but it just doesn't work too well. The Incineroar it kind of works really nice as a diversion tactic also. You know, if you've got an Incineroar on the bench and you've got a Zora Ninja set up, it's nice that if they Guzma the Incineroar, you're not really too phased by it because you've still got your Zora Ninja and they've chosen to take one less prize. Alternatively, you know, if they kill the Zora Ninja, Incineroar is a really nice attacker by itself. The GX attack is fantastic. Another full art Guardian Sylveon, you know, that's really pretty card. I'd be hoping to pull one of these today. I think that card is absolutely beautiful. The half art is also really nice. I feel like they've done a really good job. The rainbow is actually a nice version of this card, but it's just the pink. The blue outline and the pink on this card makes it look really nice. So the full art for me is probably my favourite, or the alternate art, so we'll see what we can get from the rest of these packs. Krabby reverse, pretty fantastic. So this card's kind of fun. My favourite card from the set is quite possibly this, the alternate art. I think it's absolutely amazing. Whether this card is good or not is interesting, but it is nice. I think it kind of replaces Venusaur as its, you know, I think it's better than it now because it's the same energy requirements, I believe, for both attacks. The only thing you don't get from the first attack is the confusion and burn, but you're doing more damage anyway, or if not the same damage. And healing 100 a turn is so good for this deck. Like for a deck that just wants to tank through the turns, you know, you've got your max potions, you've got potions and all of that, and you've got, I believe this deck's getting played with the Shining Mew now, which is really good for it. The GX attack is really nice with it being free, just a free paralysis and poison. It can give you that turn you need to set up. You know, this attacks for a psychic and now one triple colourless as well, which is nice because it's not an evolution, so it doesn't. It's muck. It's a basic. I forgot the basics. So never mind, you can't play triple colourless, but it's still really nice, you know, to have the GX attack to stall for a turn. I'm not sure quite how you would get 4 extra energies on it for the 15 damage counters. I suppose you just wait until you get here. However, I think that this attack would always be better because for 3 less damage counters, you'd be healing 100. But it's not a bad card at all. Yeah, the Dark Malamar is really interesting, actually. With Surprise Box, I actually don't think it's terrible. Now, Surprise Box is one of the worst cards from the set, but paired with Malamar, it's really interesting that, you know, you can put, say, like a Pikarom back into the hand or a Charizard and just go, I'll use your huge attack on a Malamar, and then I'll just bin it again, so they don't even gain anything back because that Pokemon gets discarded. It's a really nice card. I don't think it's very good, but we don't know. We can try it out. This is a incredible card. I love Honchkrow. I'm so happy it got some love and got a GX. The ability is fantastic. My one problem with this card is the attack is so weak. It's so poor at the current state of health and damage output that other cards are doing. The 3 energies to hit 90 is really bad. But it is a really nice card. The fact you get the 2 spreads is nice as well. It's basically Glaceon GX's attack, Frost Bullet, but you get the 2 spread, which is quite nice for cleaning things up. And the double spread can be better as well in this instance because you're slowing them down quite a lot by not allowing them special energies, tools or stadiums. And just discarding 2 cards from their hands is really nice. There's a cool little combo coming out with the Team Rocket card where both players discard 2 cards from their hand. So if you can let loose them into 4 and then you can play Team Rocket and then you can use Honchkro's GX on your turn 2, your opponent's playing with no hand on their second turn, which is really interesting, really hard to get off, but it could literally change a game if you manage to do it. Disagree, Surprise Box is the best card in the set. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Meowstic, yep, Meowstic, that's it really, that's all we got to say about that. Another reverse seal. I feel like we keep big spaghetti monster. Chlora Whip, this is bad. Yeah, so we don't need to talk about Tangrowth because that's really bad. What are some other really good sort of off the radar cards in the set that you guys are pretty interested to use then? This is not one, really, to be fair. I know Adam Mann, who's in the chat, got this at pre-release. And usually at pre-release you're just looking for a GX to sort of do some damage and just basically tank a couple of turns. And this was terrible. He'll even agree that this was absolutely awful throughout the entire day. So Celesteela, I'm not a fan of how it looks either, to be honest. I'm not a fan of this card. We can move on from that. Hopefully we don't get any more of those today. Reverse Golem. So funnily enough, in my league, this is now known as the Toilet Troubles Golem. It really looks like he's got a poor case of diarrhea going on back there. And he just couldn't control it any longer, basically. So, incredible card. We like that a lot. And Miss Magius, brilliant. We've talked about this. Obviously, this partners really well with Duskstone. Duskstone is Enabler. So you can evolve Mischievous on the turn that it came into play. And this is just obviously amazing. You're able to just knock it out. They take a prize, but you draw until 7. And the fact that they're taking prizes isn't always the worst. It gives you access to cards like Surge, Counter Catcher, Counter Gain, Counter Energy, all these counter cards. So it's actually a really nice card, and I'm sure it'll see quite a lot of play in some really weird archetypes. And possibly some main ones as well. A lot of people have been playing it with Guardy Sylveon. I'm quite eager to try my Guardy Sylveon with Rabombi first, but who knows. Red's Challenge Full Art, really nice card. It's interesting, to be fair, because it's quite obviously just computer search, but as a supporter. I'm not sure if that effect is strong enough to be a supporter in your deck. I feel like there are going to be some decks where this slips into as a one-of. If you need it for a deck where you just have that one card that you have to find, it's really nice on certain turns maybe to find like a Wondrous Labyrinth or those Prism Stars that can be quite hard to dig out your deck. But I think by and large, it's not fantastic, but it's a good card. And it's a nice full art to have, because I think at most it's going to be a one-of, and it's always nice to get those one-offs as full art. Rhyperia, we've spoke about him, or rather lack thereof. We didn't really speak about him because there's nothing to speak about. Jigglypuff, reverse, beautiful. This Raichu has got a really cool actually attack where if you're losing the game, you get to attach all your electric energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon, but your opponent has to be on 3 prizes and you have to be on 6, or like 2 and 5, and it's not good. Nice artwork though. I always like seeing Raichu's getting printed, but it's not a very good card at all. What wins games, Paul? I didn't see what you said, or I don't know what that was in response to. This is actually quite a good card. So I always think this is the alternate art as well. The alternate art is really pretty, and it's not. This is the regular art, but this was actually really good in pre-release. Obviously, it gives itself 10 health, and dealing with this can be really difficult. 270 health, and just when you get it on the cusp of dying, to be able to go, you know what? Whatever you do to me next turn, I'm going to keep 10 health.
was really, really strong. I've seen that in the future when we get Garchomp Giratina, this sees play as a one-of in that deck, because obviously it's already running the Fighting Energies, and it is a really nice card, to be fair. So a couple of people that I know want to try it as its own deck. It's not a bad card. It is the definition of like a GX that has potential, but it isn't quite fulfilled just yet. In a format where this maybe still had Strong Energy and Carbink Break, this would be really, really strong. It would be really good. Obviously, the nice thing for this card is that no matter what the damage output is, 160 doesn't seem much, but it's hitting Pikarom for weakness, which just deals with it completely. So it's really nice. We can't really complain about that too much. I'm going to open the next 2 packs. I'm just going to go grab a drink, so I won't be 2 minutes. What we got in this one? Reverse Slowbro. A lot of people were talking about this card before the set released. 3 strikes. If you flip 3 heads, then you're doing 300 damage, which is really huge. If you flip 3 tails, you completely lose the game. Really interesting. While we've still got Victini in standard, you can play it with that. But if you didn't want to, then I don't think it's worth playing, because the risk is not really worth the reward. I think if you lose the game, then obviously you've lost the game, and that's not too great. Pheromones from Buzzwole GX is a good card that's seeing quite a lot of play in Japan at the moment. It's very similar to the Buzzwole GX fighting type. It does 30 damage and 30 to the bench. Obviously we're missing Strong Energy and stuff in a format like this, but it's still a really good card. Elegant Soul is also really similar to Knuckle Impact, except it does 30 more damage base anyway, and then it goes to 60 next turn, which isn't fantastic. Obviously Knuckle Impact couldn't attack next turn, but it's still interesting. The Beast Game GX is interesting because you can set up knockouts with a top attack. You can make obviously quite little things even weaker, and then doing 50 and taking extra prizes is nice. I've seen a couple of people talking about a really weird list with this, where you play that Mismagius, you go down to 4 prizes, which gives you access to B-String, and then you just B-String loads onto this, use Beast Game GX and take like 4 or 5 prizes off one Pokemon. Really difficult to do, really weird combo, but it definitely could work in the right circumstance. Someone tried to do it against me at pre-release, and it just took way too long because there was no acceleration. Another Melmetal, can't really complain. Another Spaghetti Monster, amazing, I love it. This is the last pack, and I'm going to go fetch a drink. Inkay, I suppose it would go with the Malamar. And Darmanitan, sorry, this hasn't been printed in like 6 years. It's not a very good card either. I suppose it fetches 3 Fire Energies, so in a pre-release, if you pull this with something like Blacephalon, it's nice to obviously boost your damage output, but it's not good in standard at all. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
And we're back. So, yeah, back to the packs, I guess. This is kind of priority at the moment. We want to crack these packs as quick as possible. Obviously, we've hit no Reshiram Zards yet, which is kind of disappointing. I did say that if we hit 4 Reshiram Zards, I will give one away. I'll do a giveaway, but you know, we've not really found any of those at the moment, which is a little bit disappointing. I feel like they're going to be worth a ton as well to trade for. But don't worry, Venomoth, the saviour, is here. We've got another Venomoth. Brilliant, can't wait to play that. Really, really tier 1. Marshadow and Machamp Tag Team GX won me the pre-release. Yeah, it's really good, mate, honestly. I could definitely see it being better than we think it is. Especially maybe with Fighting Dojo as well. It's probably the only deck that if you were to build a quad Machamp deck, Fighting Dojo would be nice. Because obviously if you lose one of them, you'll most likely be losing the game, and then it gives you Revenge and extra buff damage as well. I think Revenge with Fighting Dojo and Choice Band can hit like 180, which is not bad at all. Like, it's, for 2 energies, you can't really complain. Gathering of Cats Persian. We missed out on the promo of this, so it's quite nice to have one of them. Where's the promo? There. Promo artwork looks really nice, but this is pretty good in the pre-release. You know, it's got free retreat, which is nice. The problem I think with it is there's no big player that has Cataday. Everyone keeps asking, oh, you know, if I'm playing like Shrine of Memories, does my Persian GX get Cataday? No, it can use Cataday, but it doesn't have it, so you don't get the free energies there either, which is really frustrating. But you know, maybe they'll print a card in the future that's quite nice. I really wish this had Cataday, just so I would have an excuse to play that abomination of an artwork. It's absolutely vile, just bathing in someone's sink, you know, dirtying it up, apples on the top. Absolutely amazing, we love it. Crocodile, that's Sandile, not Crocodile. Reverse rare, nothing to talk about there. Nothing to talk about there either, fantastic. There's the nice Dodrio card. Another Dugong, which is nice. I will still do a giveaway for a card at the end of the night, or sort of after the packs. That's a nice card to pack. But it probably won't be for anything as good as the Charizard, because we've not packed any. It's nice to see we're getting some of the God of War and Sylveons, though. That's definitely a deck that I want to try out. Kingler. Yep, that's a Kingler. That's basically all we've got to say about that. The big crab. That's the Ghastly we spoke about earlier. There we go, beautiful. So we've now got 3. I think you can get away with 3 in the deck. 4 is probably optimal, but really, really pretty card. I think this is selling for quite a lot in real life, but I'd really like to pick one of these up. It's just, I feel like they always do God of War justice. You know, they always pick nice God of War cards because it's a really popular Pokemon, and I think she's actually probably the Pokemon that has the most competitively printed cards ever. It's definitely God of War or Darkrai. They always get really good cards. And obviously Sylveon's a fan favourite, so it's nice to see those two together. Pretty excited for the Alolan Executor and Rowlet GX. Reverse surprise box. Incredible. Really happy about that. We haven't pulled any Reshizard yet, no. Meowstic with Cataday I haven't played, to be fair. I didn't get Meowstic in the pre-release kit, so I didn't get a chance to play it. 3 Venomoth GX, I could not be happier, I'll be honest. Dust Island, Devolution Spray, but literally worse. So not only do you get to devolve a Pokemon, you have to devolve it as far as possible, and then it shuffles into your deck. Amazing. Those aren't the type of cards we want printed Pokemon. Stop printing this. Eggs and Rowlet, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Eggs and Rowlet. I love the alternate art where there's just like a huge Executor in the middle of the card and just a tiny Rowlet. This Mew is a really pretty artwork, but it's also a really good card. It's literally Bench Barrier Mr. Mime, if any of you have been playing for long enough to remember that. I think it's got a smaller retreat, it has slightly less health, but it's also got an actually feasible attack. And it's Mew, and it's a holo, so it's just a pretty card to have, but it is a really nice card as well.
We're nearly halfway through, I think. We'll have about 2 booster boxes left after these next couple of packs. Which isn't too bad. 3 Miss Magics is really good. I'm quite glad that we're picking up some of the stuff like Miss Magius, because obviously Reshizards are possible to trade for. People are going to know they're worth something, so we'll trade them. A lot of the time cards like Miss Magius and those Arcanines and stuff are going to be harder to trade for online because people don't really value them too much, so they don't really get listed up that often. This Vileplume's really cool. I kind of wanted to play one of these in my Vileplume store box. I like the idea a lot of having the basic one in the... obviously you're not allowing your opponent to attack with basic Pokemon in the active. And then just sitting that one on the bench and just, you know, being able to do some damage every turn. You know, confusion, burn, poison. Really interesting, but probably not very good. I think you'd always just favour playing the basic one down anyway. Another Miss Magius, brilliant. Anything that we get extras of today, I'll be able to trade away. So, you know, if any of you guys have opened all of your packs online, if we hit a 5th Miss Magius and you're still missing one, I'll be able to trade those to you. Another Mew, that's really nice. So this is the first pack of the second to last booster box, if you look at it that way. I love this Porygon 2 artwork. I don't know if any of you played the Fallout 4 DLCs, but like this just reminds me of Nuka World. There's like a place, like an observatory, and it just looks like that with a Porygon 2 in it. So I like that artwork quite a lot. Mischievous Reverse is quite nice. This is a really interesting card. A lot of people, I think, again, Joe put this in his cards to sort of watch out for from the set. But being a Shrine of Punishment, but just on all basics, is really interesting. You know, against Zapdos Jirachi, this is really, like, weird for them to deal with. Attacking for a DCE is nice while that's still in format, and then you can obviously attack with triple energy as well. You know, just spreading lots of damage about, 20 to 2 of their bench. It's really nice, to be fair. I'm not sure how good it is. The problem I think I have with it is it's got nothing up its sleeve to be able to deal with like the really bigger threats. But this would deal with like a straight Zapdos Jirachi deck really, really nicely. As like a thick 4/4 line of, you'd completely obliterate them, I imagine. I don't know if we've talked about this card yet, but this card is absolutely phenomenal. You know, in Guardy Sylveon, Baby Blacephalon, anything that has no ability, searching for 2 trainer cards can really just swing the tide of the game. It's fantastic. In Baby Blacephalon, you're able to just fetch 2 Fire Crystals or 2 Beast Rings, and Beast Rings is absolutely incredible in any deck that plays Ultra Beast. So, Buzzwole Pheromosa wants to play 4 of those as well. It's just a very good card that's definitely worth getting your hands on 4 of them if you're getting hold of the set. Quagsire looks absolutely huge. I know that he's meant to be further away than that cruise ship. I would be honestly terrified if I was on a cruise ship and there was a Quagsire that large near me. Interesting as well that he's a fighting type and attacks for water energy. Stunfisk, again, the flattest fish in the ocean. We love him. We spoke about him, but don't have any of the Spiritombs to pair him with yet. Stack Attacker, it's not really good enough worth talking about. Welder is probably one of the best cards in the set. You know, attaching 2 fire energies from your hand to one of your Pokemon already is very strong. And then they just went, you know what, let's just give them 3 cards as well. Yeah, why not? Like, we love this card. It's really, really good. The full art is very nice, very sought after. A lot of people want to get a hold of this. I wonder why. You need 4 Reshizard, 1 triple energy, and 3 Salazzle. I've probably got enough triple energies for you, Paul, if you need one. Another Marshadow. Marshadow's nice. A Murkrow, very interesting. I'd like to just be able to pick enough up from the packs today that we've got enough of the new set to be able to sort of deck build and test with. You know, we can probably, at the point in time, we can probably build Guardy Sylveon. Another Secret Rare Pokegear is really nice as well. That's a really nice card to hit online. This Vikavolt is interesting. People like this quite a lot. You can put your Charger Bugs onto it as a double energy. and obviously then you can discard them and you can rescue stretch them back and stuff. So it's a really, really interesting card. It's quite nice. And having no weakness is pretty good as well, even though fighting isn't really that big anymore, which is really strange to consider because fighting was one of the biggest types in Standard at once. And it seems to just move so quickly. Like, types seem to get so bad so quickly. It's almost overnight. Reverse Gengar, not a good card, but I like the Pokemon. We now have a 5th Mismagius, if anyone would need that. Wailord-sized Quagsire. Yeah, he's pretty big, isn't he? Pretty big guy. Another Dugong. Can't complain too much about that card. Fire Crystal. A reverse Tiny Egg. We like it. Another Blacephalon. Brilliant. We've got 3 of those. Just one away now from a playset, and then we've got one of the Blacephalon GXs. We can look at building that deck. Grandiose Fanged. If you knock out with damage from the attack, you do 120 more. This is meant to replicate Moxie, which is his ability in the video games. Basically, every time he knocks out a Pokemon, his stats get a bit bigger, and he's meant to get a bit stronger. So he's a bit sadistic, Sandile. For such a tiny crocodile, he's very aggressive. And a 4th Stunfisk, so, you know, that deck's now done. We've now pulled 8 Horrified Goomies, so that's alright. We can't complain too much about that either. Yep, Quagsire is an absolute unit. Devolution Sprazy. Someone subscribed there, but I missed it, so I will look in a bit. But thank you very much for, well, not subscribing, for following. Another Arcanine, which is nice. We've got 2 of these. How many of the reverses have we picked up? 2 of those, so we can now play this deck if we wanted to try it out. That's not too bad at all. $30 followers, yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you very much, guys, for following. Obviously, when you've got the spare time to stream like this, we just thought, why not? Hopefully give you guys a bit of a bigger insight into the sets and, you know, some of the combos that you can pull off. You know, the ways you can look at building decks. What decks are good, what decks are bad. What decks are bad but great. Honchkrow GX, he looks amazing. I love this card. It's not quite as nice as the full art, in my opinion. I think on the rainbow he looks like he's got really bad sleeping issues, and he looks like he's got a really big bag under his eye. But it's still a really nice card. Honchkrow, for me, is a Pokemon that's meant to look quite dark and menacing. So, you know, giving him all these colours is a bit of the opposite. Very nice card, though. I won't complain. Reverse Esper, that's alright. Absolute unit reverse, so we can't complain about that. And dear Lord, please don't let us pack any more of those. Oh yes, Muck and Alolan Muck tag team. So this card, again, we spoke about this earlier. Really, really good. I think it completely replaces Venusaur in the format. Really nice version. I'm still praying that we hit this version, though. It's absolutely beautiful. The fact they're both just escaping out the sewer together. Oh, it's just a pile of muck. We love it. A nasty Goo Mix GX. You can't complain at all, can you? Red's Challenge is a really nice reverse to pull, but we already pulled the full art earlier, so no problems there. Yes! We did it. Right, we've completed the set. We are done. We don't have to play this game anymore. It's all done. So this is the one card that I really wanted to pull. I'm still yet to pull it in real life. I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and buy one because I think it's absolutely amazing. It's just my favourite alternate art they've made yet. It looks so cool. You know, you've got buff pads for this and everything. The more I look at it, like the more greater it gets. And I think if we get another one of these, not this artwork, but if we get another muck, we'll build that tonight and play someone. So that'll be pretty interesting. Paralysis will be better post-rotation with Guzma gone. Yeah, definitely. It becomes a lot better because obviously, yeah, they've got no way to force themselves out. People will play Switch. Jirachi stays, but it's still a nice thing to have. Whimsicott Full Art is a really good card as well. Like we spoke about this a bit earlier. Kind of replaces Guardy. You know, it doesn't have the same consistency issues that a Stage 2 would have. It's a lot easier to get into, so it's really good though. I like the card a lot. We can sort of try that out later also. Nice numbers for day one. Yeah, thank you. We've got quite a lot of people supporting the channel at the moment, which is really nice. It's good to see you all here. Sandslash, you'll probably all be familiar with this card for pre-release. Everyone had this in their pre-release kits. It kind of felt like Seeking, but terrible, because that Seeking was an absolute monster. Yeah, I know who you are, yeah. I have watched your stream also, I recognise your name. As in, I recognise your Twitch tag. Yeah, Sandslash was just a worse Seeking, and if you've used Seeking during this pre-release, oh lord, you'll know the power that thing can bring. It was absolutely magnificent. This is a really interesting card that I like as well. It's so plain, and with strong energy, I feel like it would be really, really strong. But it scales really quickly, because if you've got a stadium in play, you do 60 more, so it's 90 overall. With the Fighting Dojo, that buffs it up to 140. With Diancie, you're hitting 160, and then with a Choice Band, you're hitting 190. So you can actually buff Fighting up to an extra 100 damage at the moment, and obviously for one energy attachment, it's just a really nice card. I feel like a lot of people are going to try and make this work as like a sort of a rogue deck. Yeah, attach a skateboard, flip 6 coins. I feel like every time I finally got Incineroar out, everyone had the option to just go, okay, Seeking, and then just green for the escape board. I feel like it killed me so many times this weekend. Chomp Chomp Panic, a terrible card, but I love it. Crocodile is such a cool Pokemon. You know, I really like Crocodile, but it's not a card to talk about competitively. Victory Bell, we've had that already, and it's not very good. Bubble Jutsu. So if you play Janine from your hand, it does 50 more. I'm not sure if the Tentacles are good at all, or even worth talking about. Wicked Tentacles. No, it doesn't seem like it is, but you know, if you want to play Janine and you want to do an extra 50 damage, be my guest. Litten, I suppose, is nice enough. We've spoke about Wheezing already. We haven't spoke about Power Plant, and that's actually an incredibly good card. If anyone remembers Silent Lab, that card was really strong in the format because it completely countered Shaman. And although we're missing things that are incredibly strong, I feel like they've given a lot of abilities to non-GXs. Like Jirachi's really powerful right now, and that's probably the Lele replacement as well. But this is really strong for turning off things like, you know, Zeraora's Free Retreat, for turning off Detonate GX. There's a lot of cards that can actually really disrupt quite well, so that's a nice card that I like a lot as well. I feel like that again will see its way into quite a lot of decks. Is it better than the Lysander card, Lysander's Labs, that turns off tools? I'm not too sure, but it is good. Maybe in the right format. A Reverse Mismagius is nice as well. We've now got 6 of those, so we've got 2 regulars spare. What are we still looking for from this set, really? Not another Chomp Chomp Panic. That's not what we wanted. Zoro Greninjas is probably what I want to pull the most, so that I can get to testing that deck tonight. This is also a fun deck, so I've got a friend that really wants to play this deck, and he's not quite sure how to, so it would be nice to build this and give him sort of something to watch to base his variant off. And I'm going to allow you guys to help me build the decks as well, because it's nice to get other people's opinions and what you would change and what you wouldn't change. Not interested in Arbok. We do need some Reshizards, mate. Yeah, definitely. We've not pulled any of those yet, which is a little bit frustrating. But I imagine the pull rates for those online are going to be pretty high, because they want cards to be valuable. It doesn't benefit them directly, but having a good second-hand market's always nice. And they want the game to be sort of... They want you to have a point to grind the ladder and get the packs and stuff, so it makes sense that they make certain cards like that harder to pull. We can play Surprise Box nearly, though, so not to worry. We've nearly made it. You pulled 2 from 60 packs. Yeah, that's really nice. That's not a bad pull rate at all, but even then, when you consider, like, that's nearly 2 boxes, it's quite a low pull rate. This is a cool card as well. To discard all the electric energies from it does 50 damage. I think this is one of the new theme decks, and it's with Magnezone, the one from Forbidden Light that lets you attach as many electric energies as you want per turn. Really cool. I don't like. Again, it's not an amazing card, but it's pretty good. And I think they've done really well with the theme decks for making decks around cards that aren't terrible. You know, I used to sell customers theme decks sometimes, and I just like they'd just take them knowing that they were pretty bad. It's a theme deck, right? But I like that now I can sell them with confidence and say that they're actually a pretty good deck, and you could probably bring it to League and do quite well with them. The Charizard and Blastoise one were really well, and they sold really well with the community, not just with us, but with a lot of different people. So I'm glad that they've sort of looked at the theme decks and gone, well, people don't want terrible cards anymore. A Whimsicott Rainbow is nice. We can actually look at building this now, I think. We've got 3 of them, so we're 1 off there. 50 packs left. Doug Trio, another one of those is nice. We'd need 4 of those to start testing that as well, so we're just eclipsed the final box statistically, so we've got about 32 packs to go after this, I think 34 actually, and then once that's done we'll be all good to go forward from then. Kingler, massive rend, that's what you are, Kingler, you are a massive rend. Togetic, really cute Pokemon. Yes, we love it. How many? 4. I feel like you guys are going to make me build a deck around that, and I really don't want to. Perugly, yep, the less said about that the better. It's called Per Ugly for a reason. Crobat, we've not hit that yet, weirdly. It's not very good, honestly. I believe, so when you play it down, prevent all effects of attacks including damage done to Crobat, and then you do severe poison, you know, they're taking 100 damage, 160 if they've got weakness, and they're poisoned, but it's just not brilliant, is it? Like, with Devolution Spray, you think, oh, maybe, but the fact they printed Devolution Spray Z, and you've got to shuffle it into your deck, is just really strange. Yeah, Adam, first pack we pulled a Zoroark Greninja alternate art, which is really nice. Look at this fat man. I absolutely love Licky Licky. Big Wi-Fi belly himself. Look at those Wi-Fi signals. Tongnado. Fantastic Pokemon. I used to hate Licky Licky. And then for anyone that's watched the Darkrai film, when that Baron turns into him, and it's just funny. I just like Licky Licky now. I think he's great. Another Wigglytuff. Brilliant. Oh, he's giving me some kind of signals. Yeah, that's what Licky Licky does, mate. Another Mewtwo, not bad. Big Spaghetti again. You can't really complain when you get Spaghetti, can you? Did not want this, let's be honest. Although I've got a friend that, like, loves Melmetal for no apparent reason. But I think he just likes all the ugly Pokemon, so it's alright. Reverse Froakie, who looks like he has a snowball in the middle of summer. I know it's a spitball, but that's kind of gross, so I'll pretend I don't know. Yep, I absolutely love Melmetal. He is amazing. Another reverse... Oh, yes. That's a really nice pull, to be fair. I can't complain. Obviously, we've spoke about this. It's basically the spiritual replacement for DCE. This is a really nice card to get, so I'm really happy with that. So yeah, we're coming to the end of the packs now. Yes, the best card in the set. I'm so happy. You know, Adam Man, you better be so jealous right now, mate, because you've seen how good this is. Have you not pulled any Melmetal Lucario yet? Nope, I haven't pulled any of them. Yes, Peter, exactly, Adam Man, it's Peter. Just lost to Salazzle Unknown Hand Deck online, drawing 12 per turn and Fire Crystals. Yeah, that's really cool, actually. That's a nice combo. I love sort of testing on the day that the set releases, because people just play wacky things. Like, everyone's playing stuff that we don't know if it's good or bad or what, because the set's brand new. 2 Dust Islands in 1 pack. You would be absolutely enamoured by that pack in real life. You'd be through the moon. Yeah, the triple energy is really nice. No, he returns. Yeah, the less we say about this card, the less nightmares it will induce, so we can just not talk about that. I also actually lost to Goldeen at one of the pre-releases, not even seeking, and just as we talk about the devil, there he goes. Another muck, so we've completed the playset of these, so it looks like this is the first deck we're going to be trying. Crobat again, Crobat's nothing fantastic to be fair. Darmanitan is really interesting looking Pokemon. I kind of wish they'd printed him in that like blue rock form that he has, where he just looks dead. It just kind of looks funky. Another Welder's nice. I don't know what you're on about, Paul, by the way. Look, we've pulled one Lucario now, and we've pulled like 12 Melmetals. So if we just fuse them together, you know, we'll have Lucario Melmetal GX. That's how it works, right? Red's Challenge. I didn't actually realise that was a holo. I guess it's because I've had them in the pre-release kits, but I suppose that's alright. Like I said, for anyone that missed it, we pulled the full art earlier. Really, really pretty card. So that'll slip into decks nicely as a one-of. Little Meltan. It's a shame, right? Because I really like Meltan. I think he's adorable with his little circuit tail. And then they just went and like evolved him into that abomination. Look, there he is. It's like that he can hear my thoughts. It's like I say his name and he just appears out of nowhere. You couldn't write that. Yes. Let's go, boys. So we got one. Which means we're probably optimally 3 away from the deck, but you could probably get away with playing 3. So 2 more, we'll be able to play this. The rainbow is really, really pretty. I pulled that in real life, very lucky. The full art is also gorgeous and worth a lot of money. I think they've done a really, really good job on the half arts in this set as well. I like that the half arts on this, I feel like before half arts looked vacant because there just wasn't enough going on, but with the 2 Pokemon now, they're able to draw really nice artwork. And because it's centered around 2 Pokemon, it looks like they can do more with the art. So I do prefer the tag team half arts for sure. Our playset of Spaghetti. I might actually do a poll just before we go off tonight and see if I make a Spaghetti deck or a Quagsire deck. And we'll try and see if we can win a game with it online. Melmetal and Quagsire, the deck. I really don't want to play that, I'll be completely honest. But I'm pulling the 4 art tomorrow. I really hope you do, mate. It's really pretty. I'd be really happy for you if you did. Hey, there we go. That's actually alright. So this is an interesting card that people, in Japan anyway, it's seen used just for its GX attack. And people have been playing it solely as a mill deck. Because obviously 4 energies for 150 damage is pretty crap. But as a mill deck, to be able to take 30 less for the whole game, you know, you've got things like Metal Frying Pan and bodybuilding dumbbells maybe. Anything that can sort of like make you last a bit longer. And Metal has quite a lot of that support right now. It's really, really interesting actually. And you just sort of play this with cards that can mill cards and all of the above, like Lucamines and things, I guess. Interesting archetype. I'm not sure that it's something I'll play around with too much. Thank you for blessing my final packs, Chloe. Right, I actually haven't seen this card once, and I didn't even know it was in the set. Has anyone else seen this card whilst opening their packs at pre-release or online packs or anything? That is mad. It's very rare, right, that I don't know of one card that's in the set. I've never seen this. If they have any GX or EX in play, it has no retreat, just 32 at the bench, and 30 base for 3 energies. That's why I've never seen it. It's very terrible. Oh, do you play it as a one-of in tool drop? 5th Arcanine. We got 4 holos, so we actually got 6 now, I think. 6, yeah, 2 reverses. So if anyone needs those, I'm happy to help them out. These are my big metal Pokemon. Yeah, unfortunately, it was Alex that I was talking about, where he likes all the ugly Pokemon. You know, big metal man. So fantastic. Another Rainbow Honchkrow. That's really nice as well, to be fair. I'm happy with that. Again, it's not a full art, but I can't complain when you're pulling the higher rarity. It's a nice card to have still. Milcario and Tool Drop. Yeah, definitely. I got one of those in Arcanine in real life. Yeah, I might need it, to be fair. David just pulled one like 2 minutes ago and he said the same thing. The same thing about what, Chloe? Volcanion, again, I don't need this. I have so many of the promos. So, I'll be giving some of the promos away as well because I just don't need that many online. Butterfree, I also don't think I've seen this once. I knew it was in the set because I've seen loads of Metapods. But I don't think I've seen this at all yet, especially in person. Drowsy, just slouching on a tree. He loves it. Clamour Ekans Reverse. David's favourite card in the entire universe. Darmanitan again. Nothing interesting there. 3 packs left, guys, and then we'll look at building some decks. Oh, yes. The best card. I'm actually really happy with that. I think this is definitely going to be the first deck we build. You know, we've got 2 of those and a rainbow, so I like the idea of playing that deck first. But you guys can definitely sit and help me build it. Okay, we've now got 5 absolute Chungus units. The water fish Pokemon. It has a sluggish nature. It lies at the river's bottom and waits for its prey to roll into its mouth. I mean, it honestly kind of reminds me of myself, so I'm not even too upset at this point. I do like that Drowsy though. It's pretty great artwork. Oh no, no. Not again. Please, leave me alone. For Dust Island, I really wish I could play that. And a Perugly. Cool, so that's that for now then. We've got a couple of coins, to be fair. We could pick up a pack from the shop, but they're not in there yet, so I think I'm going to hold that onto that. Let's go build a deck, guys. What do you guys want to see, you know, built? I guess it's Muck, right? I guess you guys want to see Muck. I might do a giveaway before we build the deck. Let's have a look what we've got from the new set and see what we could look at giving away. I mean, I can give away some Quagsires if you want. I feel like people would need those. So, it's only generous, really, right? Yeah, cool. We'll do a giveaway for a Volk promo. Right, I'll put the details for the giveaway in the chat, and then you guys can jump in on that as you want. I believe I remember how to do it. There we go. Right, let me put this in the chat, guys. Does that just go into the chat? That should work. Okay, I've never done a giveaway before, so I'm not actually entirely sure how to do it. I believe that it's doing it as it want to. Okay, there we go. Yep, it's put it in the chat. Good stuff. So yeah, you just got to put exclamation. Oh, is that exclamation mark? Yeah, exclamation mark raffle, and then it'll draw a random winner. So you've got a minute, guys, to get that done. You've got a minute to enter. And I'll give one of these away to someone. And yeah, I guess people are probably pretty happy for Muck to get built. I kind of like the idea of that. The pretty Muck boy. I love this card. So I'm guessing we play 4. And then I'll let you guys sort of suggest what we would play this with. I think Shining Mew should be in there. I'm not sure how many though. We can go trade for more if we think there needs to be a higher inclusion. I'm not sure what else I would put into here either, to be fair. I guess we can start to... I guess we base this off a Celosaur list, right? So, probably a couple of Acer Rollers. Although I'm not too sure because obviously we lose stuff like Aether Paradise. I don't think that's too helpful. Beastbringer obviously is not useful for us. Pig Malasada. Life Forest and Shaman. Okay, so the raffle is over with. Let me find out who won. Does it tell you or not? Because it doesn't seem like it's told me. Oh, these raffles are very complicated. I don't know how to actually find the winner. Current giveaway. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I see how to do it now. I think. Oh, wait, no, I broke it. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm really not, So, hold on, right. Right, okay, right. If you guys... you might have to re-enter, because, again, like, I'm just not too sure how to do this. The timer's on 0. But it's not adding you guys in for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, this is a... Bear with me 1 second, guys, while I get this working, because it's very interesting. Timer enabled. Yep, good stuff. You don't have to be a follower to win, so we save that. Okay. There we go, right. So if you guys can enter, it's up now. It's actually working now as well, to be fair, so... or I believe it is anyway, the timer's working properly, so yeah, it's working now, guys, so you're all good. I think I'd started the giveaway last time and timed it at 1 second. So if you went in 1 second, you went in. And obviously that's not very good, so... Yeah, so maybe we play Big Malasada in the deck. I don't really care how memey we make it, to be fair. I just want... I'll take a vote off people for how we build the deck and how we sort of progress forward with it. But I feel like you base it very loosely off Celosaur, though, surely, because it's a very similar style of deck. Obviously, you're playing just not to die. One Dust Island. You know what, I might. Sometimes you just got to cave in and please the community. And if Dust Island's what it takes... Dust Island's what we'll play. Right, 30 seconds left on the raffle, guys. Not too long. Four Dust Island. No thanks, Matt. I don't think I want to play Four Dust Island. I barely want to play one, I'll be completely honest. Two seconds, 1 second. Cool, so the raffle is done. We'll pick a winner. Alex Lane. There you go, Alex. You won the giveaway, mate. So you won the Volcanium promo. I'll send that across to you later. We'll run another giveaway later, guys, don't worry. Dust Island is very terrible. What does Dust Island... So, it doesn't remove a special condition. Is it just poison? Poison, but only when they're switched with a trainer card. So if you just retreat, you still get rid of poison. It's terrible. It's really bad. Hold on a minute, boys. Wait, have I just broke the format? Why do I have, like, Aladdin? Oh, it's not Aladdin, it's something else. Hold on, let me just change the music up a bit. Right, oh, where's that Toxapex card? I think you guys know what I'm digging for right now. Toxapex. If they're poisoned... Oh, no, that's kind of boring. I thought if they were poisoned, they couldn't retreat. But, that's still funny. But I don't feel like that's good, so let's not play that. Basically, I need you guys to tell me what we base this, you know, muck variant off. I don't have a Celosaur list on here, so what's the energy count looking for, do you think? Do you think we play... You've got to be playing DCEs, right? So we're probably playing 4 DCE. I feel like that's... Well, that annoys me a bit. $54 energies, sick. It's a Viper that increases poison damage. Is that bad though? Because it's a really bad start in this deck, right? Because we're not actually going for knockouts, we're just trying to survive longer. The fact that the Mew's got free retreat as well, and Viper doesn't, means that we're going to guarantee to get into this and pull out of it. And if we're not playing Viper, we can also play green. So by not playing Viper and Salazzle, Potion... I feel like Potion's a good shout. I'm not sure how many Potions Celosaur plays. Last Chance Potion. That's the good one, right? Where's regular Potion at, boys? 4 Potion. Let's put Potions in there. What sort of supporters are we looking for, I think, from this? I don't know. I know, Paul, I know you played Celosaur for a bit, so we want to make that standard. I'm not sure if Acerola had a place. For anyone that attended League last night, they'll know that this card is absolutely incredible. It won the tournament, basically. Someone came and just played 60 Aether Foundation employee, and they basically won the entire tournament. Very good card. Yeah, green is very good in this deck. I like the idea of green a lot. Bill's Analysis is also quite nice. I'll put one in there, and then we can just sort of... It's easy to sort of view everything. I quite like Copycat in these decks as well. Cynthia... We can pop up there. I don't want to play the ladies. Erica is quite nice in decks like that because obviously it's just drawing. It allows you to keep what you've already got in your hand. Pokemon Breeder is also not terrible, to be fair. I don't dislike Pokemon Breeder at all. Gardenia, obviously we lose access to Gardenia as well, which is kind of frustrating. Still a good card. I like green a lot in this. I don't know if we're going to end up playing 4. We might not end up playing 4 Guzma either, but we'll leave it there for now. Yeah, about this card, we just don't discuss it, right? Judge. So, I know that Celosaur played Judge and Judge Whistle, so that's probably quite a nice one to put in there. Koga's Trap also is quite nice. I suppose we're going to get the poison off anyway, so Confusion on a supporter is not very good. Lily. Again, I'm not entirely sure how good Lily is in a deck like this, where you kind of want to hold everything that you've got in your hand. I don't think there's many Prisms that are good for this either. I don't want to play Looker. Lucamine's not really worth the inclusion. Blaine's Last Stand. No, thank you. Am I just going to skip over How? Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Morty, Nanu. None of them are worth playable. Olivia is not the best. Pokemon Breeder. Are we going to play a Pokemon Breeder? Tell me, chat. Oh, please don't make me play Pokemon Breeder. Lana, you've officially lost it. Cool, I'll play a Breeder. We can put one in there. Lecture, it's not worth playing. Red's Challenge is actually quite nice in an instance like this to just, you know, bin 2 cards and fetch something. I maybe like a one-off in this deck. Are we going to play Sabrina Surprise Box? Is that the play? Right, Surprise Box Sabrina. Is everyone happy about that? Choice Helmet, PogChamp. I like it. Choice Helmet's nice. Steven's Resolve also is pretty nice. Tate and Liza maybe as well in that deck. Whitney. Thick Wick. Okay, so you know what? Let's do it. Oh, no, I broke it. Oh dear. What did I do? Why is everything just like... Oh, can it... Oh, it can't be both, can it? Oh, it's... Oh, never mind. It's allowed Sabrina in. Oh no, I don't want supporters. Oh, it's... Jesus. It's taking me ages. Acrobike. Adventure bag. So we're going to be playing... 4 of Whitney. No, thank you. I don't want to play that. We're going to be playing... Oh, what is it called? That big thing that when you're really fat, you get more health. Buff pads. There we go. We'll be playing buff pads. Is Malasada a one-of? Do we have to play a Malasada? What are we saying? Does Muck look like he would really enjoy a giant jelly donut? That's what I'm thinking. I feel like it's a bit mean if we don't give him some donuts, right? He looks hungry. Looks like he could eat anything. And there's 2 of them as well, so we're gonna have to play 2. It's unfair if we only play 1. You know what? Potion is terrible. Let's play 4 donuts. That's what's gonna keep Muck happy. And it's all about keeping him pleased as well. Buff pads for sure. Do we think we split this with Choice Helmet? Or do we think buff pads is just better in this? Like having 50 more or taking 30 less? Altar of the Moon is not a bad shout, but it makes the retreat 2, which then is just bad. So like I just don't see it. I don't see it worth. I think buff pads is just better as well. Chip, Ice Axe. Counter Catcher is not very... I know Celosaur played 4 Crushing Hammers. So maybe we just YOLO it there. Custom Catch is pretty interesting. Dangerous Drill. No thanks. Dust Island is pretty bad. I don't think we're going to look at that card at all. Oh wait, no. No, you forced me. You forced my hand. We'll play 1 Dust Island. I have to play 1. Energy Retrieval. I'm not sure if that saw play at all. Energy Switch didn't in that deck, I don't think. We'll play an Enhanced Hammer. Possibly play a Field Blower as well. Heat Factory, Hustle Belt, Great Ball, Judge Whistle is definitely a worthy inclusion. Oh, it kind of annoys me that they're all different rarities. We don't have Life Forest. Life Herb is terrible, so we're not going to be playing Life Forest. Dust Island Secret Rare when? What, did I not put the reverse? Oh, I did put reverse Dust Island in, okay. Lysander Labs, again, is probably not worth playing. Max Potion is maybe not worth playing as well. 4 Missing Clover? No thanks. 4 Mixed Herbs. Are we playing... Right, look, we're giving him donuts. He needs something to wash it down, right? Because it's unfair. Like, you can't give him food and no hydration. So, I think it's only fair, actually, if we remove 2 donuts and say, look, you've both got a meal and you've both got something to drink too. We've also got an old one. I'm going to put the old one in. Treasure is relatively interesting, and obviously we don't suffer from being energy stalled because of this. So we actually don't have to build this deck as good as we think. It's terrible at the moment, I can tell. Poison Barb, that's bad. Pokegear, let's just put 2 in just to flex on him. Why not? I'll put the other 2 in as well. Big flexer. Pokemon Catcher is not worth it. Pokenav is not very good. Potion, you've been replaced by the donut. We don't need rare candies, although Muck does look like he likes candy. I feel like he'd enjoy it. Rescue Stretcher is not needed. That, oh dear, not playing that. Shrine isn't needed. Spell Tag is actually kind of interesting, but I suppose the rate they're going to take knockouts is so low that it's not worth it. Sabrina's Surprise Box is going ahead, so we're playing a 1-1 of those. And we're nearly out of room for energies completely. Amazing. Wait and see, Hammer. That looks terrible. What's his weakness? It's psychic, I think, isn't it? So we shouldn't get walked on by many things. Wishful Baton is also an interesting card in this matchup as well. Power Plant is a second stadium. Not playing Muck and Muck. You're not playing Muck and Muck. You're playing Tesco Meal Deal. Yes, I suppose so. So okay. I think honestly, I'm gonna just try it with just those Pokemon, and I think for Psychic Energies, we want to be playing. Probably about 9. I know we're going to go over, but... Is that 9? That's 9. So we've got 4 cards to remove. I feel like 3 Crushing Hammer's fine in a deck that plays like a bit faster than this. Field Blow is nice, but I don't know if tools really affect us too much. I'm happy playing 3 Judge Whistle. I'm happy cutting this down to 2. I don't think Bill's important. I think 4 green, 4 Cynthia, 2 Erica's nice. I don't think 4 Guzma's needed either. I'm happy with 2 there. We've got Judge's draw support. I don't think we need Lily. Pokemon Breeder can draw cards. Red is probably a bit too much. Surprise Box Sabrina. Yep, it's got to happen. And then I probably just want some Nest Balls. I'm actually not going to play that one. I'll play Nest Ball and... I'm actually not too sure what else we would put in. I love how better cards are being cut for Big Malasada. That's it, right? That's what's happening. That's what you got to do. I like the 3 Crushing Hammer. I like the Enhanced Hammer. 3 Judge Whistle is fine. I'm struggling to think that if we're missing anything that was really important to Celosaur that we've not got. I don't know if there's any Pokemon with like, am I missing like any Prisms or? That's actually not bad. That's actually not terrible. We'll play 1. 2 Judge. 4 green. Why are we playing Dust Island? You can't complain about the deck when we're playing Dust Island. Okay, it's not allowed. Shuckle GX is kind of interesting, but again, because of the retreat, like I don't feel like it's worth playing. We'll play around with... this is like a terrible build of this deck anyway. So we'll play around with this for a bit and see how it goes, and then whatnot. We'll make suggestions as we go to improve it. I kind of like Counter Catcher in this. I feel like we're going to be losing a lot because this is bad. Damage Mover, because you know, instead of healing the damage, why don't you just move it? Great card. 3 spaces left, guys. What would you suggest to put in? Sea of Nothingness is actually, you know what? That's actually not terrible. Where is it? That is not awful. But against tag teams, it's not good. I like Power Plant, I think. I like Power Plant as a one-of. And then, what's our draw support looking like? It's looking okay. I don't want to play too many Lilies because we've got quite a lot that can clog up our hands in this deck. We've got 4 Cynthias. We've got DCE. Triple Acceleration Energy actually doesn't do too much for us here. I feel like maybe we could just include an extra Psychic because we want to make sure we're hitting them. You know, we're healing 100 a turn. Is there anything that sort of stacks with that we can think of other than potions and things like that? I don't think so. The fact we've got green as well is really nice to be able to find the Malasadas. What am I saying? Why are we not just playing Potion? This is getting swapped straight for Potion, and so is this. As soon as we've played our first game. Cool. Let's give this a go, and this is called Tesco Meal Deal. Oh, I actually don't like that deck box. That'll do. Oh, I mean, give Mew the support that it needs. I didn't pull anything in AGX pull. I pulled literally 0, so that's still a card that we're searching for as well. Am I playing on the ladder, or would anyone like to give me a game? While I'm also waiting... Yep, sure, Paul, I can give you a game. While I'm waiting for that, I will run another giveaway. Let's find... see what useful stuff we got from the set. What about not trainers? I mean, I imagine this is going to be quite a hard card to pull as well, and it's a good card as well. So I'll run a small giveaway for that, because why not just give things away? Right. Cynthia giveaway. Yeah, Paul can look at my hand, but we just gotta, like, when you're playing, you just gotta hope they don't look. That's it. Like, Paul's only cheating himself out of a win, really, if he looks at my hand, so. Right, there you go, guys. There is a giveaway for a Mew Hollow, if you guys would like to enter in the chat, if you care at all for the Mew. I'll put my TCGO name in the chat, so if any of you guys want to add me, you'll be able to. While this giveaway concludes, guys, I'm just going to go grab some food. I'll be back in like literally a minute. It'll finish in a minute, so I'll not be too long.
I return. Right, let's draw a winner. So, Adam, man, you want a Mew Hollow? Well done, mate. I hope you needed it. Yeah, I'll accept these friend requests, and then oh, not lobby. Let me just do this while I'm here as well. Create trade. Oh, apparently Adam. Oh no, I can. Where is it? What do I have to actually tag it for trade? That's so weird. Why can't I just trade my cards? Okay. I'll send this across to you, mate, and then I'll get into a game with Paul. If I do have to step away for a couple of minutes after my game with Paul, I think we're going to order pizza, so I'll have to be a part of that, and then I'll be back. So let me go to trades. What do I do here? Oh, create trade, private trade. Add a man. Have this Mew, which apparently I still can't send. That's what? It's kind of weird. Maybe I can't send you stuff from Unbroken. Oh wait, no, that's what you're giving me. Ah, right, okay, that was very dumb of me. What can I just take off you? That's terrible. What is Alex's name? There you go. Oh, thanks for the bronze ore. Volcanian. So there you go, guys. They're all done. Right, Paul, if you want to invite me, mate, we can get into a game, and then I'll try and get some. I can get some viewer games in as well with better decks than Muck, because Muck is not very good. Let's be honest. But it's a fun deck. I really like the card. I like Muck. Whether it's good or bad is not the question. Good stuff, mate. Oh dear, I have so many decks. What did we call this? Was it something to do with Tesco? There we go. Honestly, Paul, I really expected you to play Quagsire against me. Hell yeah. Oh yes, the best Muck. So I actually don't mind this. It's not a bad start at all. I guess we take that right. I'm not really sure what's the best play here. Probably a nest ball. Or we could take nest ball and... I like this. I suppose you just get his brother out.
Sabrina's surprise box, turn 1. Yeah, I wish I could do that. Okay, how much damage does this do? Interesting. Good stuff, boys. Let's get rid of that. What do you guys do here? Do we green and get these bad boys? Do we surprise box and then Sabrina for Kiawe? The play. Nah, I think we just fetch these. We're in a pretty good position, to be fair, so I like this. And it's working out pretty well. Hell yeah, Hammers of Destiny. Get severe poison, boy. Sabrina surprise box turn 1. I love it. Should we, like, change it up a bit? Hold on. Is this everyone's favourite song ever? Interesting. What do we do now? Oh dear. Hi Matt, how you doing, mate? Let's nest ball for... I don't even really know what the play is. I feel like we should have played a switch. It'd be really nice to fetch that with green and then switch into Mew and get energies out there, but I guess we just want to thin here and we'll fetch Mew. Guess we just draw a card. That's actually relatively helpful, to be fair. Is that worth it? I suppose it would slow you down for 1 turn. I don't feel like doing anything that turn. What was the best song though? Like, what was the best Pokemon song? Like, oh, was it this? I don't know if everyone's seen Pokemon Forever, but this. I think this is played at the scene at the beginning where Croconaw is fighting Pikachu, and then like they have to run for the ship, and I just remember Crobat like being absolutely massive, and like I think he carries Ash or something like to the ship. I can't remember, but he's huge anyway. You're going to be very angry that you messed with that, you know. How many energies do we need here? 4 extra energies. I don't think I needed to put that many on, but oh well. Because the attack's free, right? So it's just 4 energies in total. So for anyone that's watched the Pokemon films then, which one's the best? Or like, which one's your favourite?
Master Quest was also good as well, yeah. Oh, Charizard. See you in a bit, mate. Who said it's the best deck in the format? Oh, this is an absolute banger as well. What do I want to do here? I think I want to bring that up. Oh yeah. Oh, I realised that I can see it. Yeah. So I didn't know how to like, obviously with it being the first stream, the overlay is fine for when you're not in a game, and I kind of forgot about the bench, to be fair. I can shrink the overlay a bit to fit like the actual screen. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, the Hooper film was pretty good, to be fair. I didn't dislike it at all. I think my favourite is the Arceus one. I really liked that film. I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure it's from Pokemon. It is. Oh, didn't we just have this? Paul, how come you can't deal with these mucks? You seem to be struggling, mate. Yeah, no worries, Paul. I'll give you a game next, mate. No worries. Set by Pachi film. Yeah, I think the trilogy of thingy films are really good. What's the what is the Rocket song called? I can't actually remember it. Right, let's see how much we can heal. Big donut, man. You can have a donut. Judge Whistle. We'll draw a card. That's not too helpful. So I guess we green at the moment, and we fetch him. He's very thirsty. Very thirsty muck. So we're gonna see if we can heal. Oh, he's so thirsty, boys. Look at that. He's just drinking that milk. Oh, that's brilliant. Better than potion. And then we heal the rest of our damage as well. Amazing. This actually wasn't the worst deck I've ever played. Paul, don't tell me what you're playing, but am I allowed to play something not that terrible? I'll let you decide, Paul, whether I play something good or muck. Also, I'll take a moment to give this deck its due course in Hall of Fame, right? Look at this, 88 games, 52 wins. Do you want to see this deck? I don't actually think I want to show you guys. It's really embarrassing. It's the first deck I built when I got back into playing the game. About 3, maybe 4 years ago now, nearly now. It's really bad. But you know when like a deck's so bad, you just cram everything into it, that it worked. So we've got, I'll just give you a minute to take this all in.
Yep, no Spirit Link. And a Mega Blastoise. See you later, Matt. Aurorus EX. Yeah, it doesn't get much better. 4 Gyarados. Not a good one. Swampert EX, which looks weirdly off colour. Vaporeon EX. 2 Sillon. Right? Yeah. 2 Rescue Scarf. Very good card. 4 Shaunas. Sharon. Oh, this deck was just phenomenal. This card was actually really, really good. But yeah, this deck was not good at all. Oh, do I have a... I don't think I've got you, Paul. I feel like I did. Oh, hell yeah. There's a song that people wanted. Yeah, Paul, you'll have to invite me, mate. I don't think I've got you on here, or... I thought I did. What are some other really, really bad decks? Yeah, Aurorus had an EX. Funnily enough, when we got back into playing, I went with my partner up to Nottingham and we bought loads of boxes and stuff, and the first box she bought was Aurorus EX. It was never good. Vikavolt GX, sick. I remember playing this deck. I remember this card and how good that was at one point. Yeah, Paul, I'm just waiting for you to invite me, mate. Oh no, they give you some absolutely awful decks, don't they? I'm so sorry, mate. Yeah, Paul, what's yours, mate? I'll add you now, mate. I'm so sorry I couldn't get Dust Island down. I felt like Dust Island would be okay if it wasn't with the use of a trainer. If it just made you, like, remain poisoned when the new Pokemon was promoted, it would be, like, really decent. But the fact that you're forced to, like, use Switch or something to actually get a use out of it is terrible. I know, James's voice is incredible, isn't it? It's phenomenal. Cool. There you go, mate. That should have gone through. Oh. Bought a secret rare Fiery Flint. Yeah. I think if you picked it up for anywhere around 30, you've done pretty well. Oh, that's really good then, mate. You can't really complain about that, to be fair. Yeah, Paul, I have added you, mate. I don't know why it's not... Oh no, is this from that really this is from that really depressing episode of Pokemon, isn't it? Is it? No, it's not. There's that. Oh, I know this is David's favourite. This is actually an amazing section of the anime though. It was really good. Sometimes I really wish that I could watch the Pokemon anime the same way that you sort of take it in as a kid. When I watch it now, even the Sun and Moon anime it's okay, but it's just too childish, which is what it's meant for. But I don't know, Pokemon used to be so fun to watch as a kid. It's kind of sad to grow up in it, but I'm glad I can still enjoy the card game and stuff. With a brand new attitude. Pokemon Johto. I mean, I think I added you, mate. Let me try this. Is this any different? I don't know if this... Yeah, it doesn't add anyone, so... Cool. Does anyone else want a game then? Adam, man, do you want a game or something while we wait? And I'll jump on and give Paul a game. Anyone to challenge me to a game? Oh, there we go. Never mind, it's sorted. We're working. I'll play someone else afterwards. Matt, why couldn't you have called it something that wasn't... I realised Matt left, but you had to call it something with a lower end letter of the alphabet, right? The Sun and Moon anime is actually really good, to be fair. It's definitely the most watchable it's been since, like I said, I was a kid. I'd rather spend my time watching different things. But I could definitely understand how people would like it. I think the films are always really fun, and I'm really excited for Detective Pikachu as well. I know I've already spoken to a lot of you guys about it also, and I know you are too, but I think that'll be a really good film. I was having this discussion earlier, and a lot of people think the Sonic film looks terrible, and it does look bad, but I think people have set their expectations so high because Detective Pikachu's made them look real so well, and Sonic's failed to do that. But I feel if Sonic had been released or was coming out 2 years ago, it would have done really well. I think people would have been really hyped for it. I think it's just released at a bad time for it. What do we play here? Why not? We don't know if we're getting it in English, but they are doing... so if you go to see Detective Pikachu in 3D at a Cineworld, Odeon or View, on the opening weekend, you get a special pack that is unique to going to see it at that time. And that pack could contain something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Jim Carrey as Robotnik as well is a really, really good casting decision. I think he's the only thing about the trailer so far that looks good. And a lot of the people that I spoke to about Sonic have said that they're kind of annoyed that there's the military, but they're not gun. They're just the US military. And they all said well, just to keep it in the Sonic series, they should have been gun. Oh, that was maybe a mistake. I probably should have attached. Oh, thank God. That's very lucky. That's alright. Yeah, I do just think the model for Sonic was really strange. It kind of looks like... I envision it as someone took the idea of Sonic to a big movie studio and went, this is what Sonic is, make it into a film, but instead of handing them actual Sonic material, they handed them like a fan fiction, and that feels like what they've done. It's so weird. Nasty goo. No, this is the Johto Poke Rap. I don't think it's a theme to any of them. Yeah, Pika-Paw looks fun, to be fair. Wait, Paul, have I donked you then? Because I can just kill that baby. Oh, Big Muck taking lives. Sabrina. Oh dear, your hand's very bad. Well, GG, mate. I guess. Yeah, it's pretty bad to start the GX as well. People just can't handle Muck. Does anyone else want a game? What time are we on? Because I'm not staying on. I'll probably stream for another like 20 minutes, call it a night, and then we can jump on at some point during the weekend. Someone just said like they never thought they'd see a film where Pikachu just says "Get me the hell out of here" and sounds like Deadpool. So it's definitely something I'm interested for. I'm retiring forever. I mean, I'm not going to agree with you, but you want to look at the fact you just lost to a deck playing 2 donuts, 2 Moo Moo Milks. You know, Surprise Box and Sabrina. So, yeah, I can probably get one more game in, guys, and then I'll do a giveaway, and then I'll sign off for the night. So if anyone wants to play another game, like Adam Man, if you want to play a game, or anyone, really, I'll play a different deck as well. I'll just let someone challenge me. First person to challenge me, I'll play the game against them. Muck OP, please ban. It's absolutely incredible, mate. Basically, that's what we've produced. Sure. Let me find. Yeah, sure. David, if you add me, I'll give you a game and then I'll call it a night after this one. Ooh, that's a bit of a rough start, actually. Muck OP. 3 Pokegears. Jesus, that's not what you want, is it really? I've had enough of the Pokemon music now. I would like to draw an extra card. My hand is absolutely awful. Oh dear. They're all look pretty bad, to be fair. I'm going to fetch this, I think. And then fetch another Oddish. So I need to swap the Oddishes out as well. Yeah, that's my turn, I guess. It's not very good. Yeah, so the plan going forward for streaming, guys, is I'm going to try and do it Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays I'll not be streaming, obviously, because Wednesday night, for any of you that attend League, know that we have tournaments and stuff on a Wednesday night, so it's difficult to fit it around. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm also at the shop, so I don't get much time to be able to get on the computer and stream. But I would, you know, give or take 3 or 4 of those days, we'll be streaming. This is not Salacian Town. This is Eterna City, I believe. It's Eterna City, yeah. Yeah, so obviously any suggestions you guys have for the stream going forward. Today was kind of easy. It's easy content to make because it's pack opening, talking about the set. But I think going forward, we're just going to try and profile certain decks. You know, we can pick up decks that have done pretty well. We can also play some meme decks. Just try and play whatever, to be fair. And you guys are always welcome to suggest things or tell me things that you'd like to see or decks that you'd like to see played. 20 damage. Wednesday night tournaments start at 6 o'clock, mate. Oh dear, this is really not a good hand, I'll be completely honest with you. And we're also going to start and try to do some real life streams as well, so I'm still in the process of getting a tripod for my phone, but we're going to be recording some of the decks from the top of our League Cups and stuff. When we do, you know, we're going to just try and stream the League Cup at individual rounds, and we'll have the top cut and the finals also available on the channel. Our next League Cup is in about 2 weeks on a Sunday, so obviously when we've got, I say I won't be streaming Sundays, but when we've got like a League Challenge or a Cup, I'm going to try and stream that from the store. So that's content for you guys to watch. And I also might expand from just doing Pokemon TCG videos. We could also look at doing some actual Pokemon gameplay for some of the older games. I'd be really interested in doing Nuzlocke or whatever for some of the older like DS games and things like that. So Paul, I think you might have this game, mate. My hand's really bad. The fact that Big Shuckle is dead already is also not good for me, I'll be honest. I want to top deck a Steven right now, pretty much. Oh dear. We're trying, don't worry. We're trying, I'm trying it. I think the next time I stream will probably be Monday. And I want to try and test a bit of Zora Ninja on Monday, and we're probably going to build Guardy Sylveon as well and try and get some of that tested also. I'm also pretty interested in testing Pikarom as well with all the new stuff that it's got from the new format. It gains quite a lot from this set. Electromagnetic Radar is really nice for it, and so is Dedenne. Dedenne really helps the deck quite a lot, so... Oh no, what is this hand? This is terrible. You've got to be, you got to be in it to win it, and I'm not in it right now. Let's be honest. I'm really struggling. Oh no! Oh no, my hand's so bad. Yeah, I think this game's yours, Paul, let's be honest. It's so uncommon as well that like this deck, like this just isn't an auto win for me. This must be like the first time I can remember in a very long time that I haven't just established Vileplume like turn 2 or 3 latest. Sometimes I have to first turn Bill for Steven to then... Oh, yes! Let's go, boys! At least there's no you have a good deck spam. Yeah, definitely. You have a good deck. Well played. Phew, that was close. Yeah, kind of glad about that, I'm not going to lie. Slowly but surely you're going to kill this Warlord. Yep, it's true. I don't think that's one of the downfalls for that Baby Cephalon deck is they're not playing the Marshadow. Obviously, Marshadow for them, for most decks, is really important in the early turns. But I don't think with that deck you can afford to play it because starting it is so bad for you. Disgusting pollen. I remember when this Vileplume first got released, we all sort of looked at it and thought, wow, that's such a that's a really strong effect, right? But before tag teams, there was just you didn't counter enough of the format for it to be like worth playing, and it came out at a weird time where EXs had just phased out, so people weren't really playing them anymore. I mean, you did well against Volk. It was quite easy for them to splash different things in that could probably beat you. So it sort of never really took off, the Vileplume, but it's really good now. It's definitely seeing quite a lot of play. Let's get this back. Funnily enough as well, I have this deck built in real life. I've been playing it for quite a while. Funny that you say so many pretty full art supporters. I have the whole deck in max rarity. Literally the entire deck, other than one Stevens Resolve. In real life, I only have 3 full art Stevens Resolve. And one of them is just a league promo. So, what a first world problem to have. Even Ultra Forest Carton Boy can't help him now, yeah. Phew, that was close. See you in a bit. Thanks for the game, Paul. Yeah, David, I should have you, David. This is David, I think. Oh, okay. I'll wait for David. I'll wait for you to challenge me. I'll make this the last game of the night, guys. And then I'll be heading off. But I do appreciate to everyone that tuned in, or even spent 10 minutes, or the full 3 hours that we've been streaming for with us. What do I feel like playing? Not that. That's very terrible. Go on, let's give Muck one last game. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I'm not going to Bristol to play, but I'm nipping down for the day. I'd be tempted to get another because it's a deck that I really enjoy. I think it's a really, really fun deck. Contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, a lot of people just absolutely hate it. I love Mill. I think it's really funny. I think it's great to sit there and just say nope to your opponent. I know Paul is one of those. He absolutely hates it, honestly. He can't stand Mill decks. But don't worry, Paul. Viral Plume's not sticking around for long. He leaves soon. Ooh. Adventure bag. Buff padding and escape. Don't tell me this is the muck mirror. I'd cry. No. No. Please, no. Put it back. Full art iris. Yeah, I can let you know, mate. I know we're selling off quite a lot of our full art supporters, but I think Iris is one of the only ones we decided to keep. Crushing Hammer. Oh no. Right, what do I hit? What do I want here? Green is probably pretty strong. This is really interesting. I'm not sure what to take from this. I feel like maybe this is a good play. Yeah. A week on Saturday, mate. David's having a fit. You should get that checked out, David. A week on Saturday is Bristol, so I'm going for the Saturday. I'm heading down early in the morning. Dark energy, what am I seeing? What am I looking at? What's happening? Yeah, so I'm heading to Bristol just to sort of sell off some stuff before rotation hits, because, okay, David, I've lost all hope in you, mate. Another muck is all good. We like that. Let's pokey gear. I'll take this. I don't know what I'm looking at. Do you need a ticket to go down to Bristol to not play but buy stuff? No, not at all. You can just go into the venue. You don't need to buy a ticket. The tickets are literally just for the events. You can even go to Bristol and play all of the side events, so pre-releases. I think they'll still be running because the set isn't legal, so sometimes they still run pre-releases late. There's a big chance they'll still be playing Pick a Pack. That's what I was looking for, Pick a Pack. And obviously draft and stuff like that. So there's loads to do at Bristol if you've not got like a main event ticket or anything. I was about to judge you, but that would be very stupid. Oh, yeah, go on then. Let's use green. Oh, no. I can't allow you to get nasty goo mix off of me. That's just mean. So yeah, I'd thoroughly encourage everyone to head down to Bristol if you can. Obviously, it's a really long drive if all of you are located here from where we are. But after Bristol, we'll start to get information about next year's events as well. I'm hoping we get another Sheffield. Oh, paralysis. That's so sweet. Donut. The most busted deck ever. Nasty goo. David, you just can't handle it, mate. The jelly donuts just cost you the game, and how do you feel? It's just better than potion, right? What a card. So yeah, as I said, schedule going forward should be weekdays other than Wednesday. We're gonna try and get some YouTube content out there as well. And we're also gonna start writing articles and stuff for the Facebook page. If none of you are following that, which I hope you should be. Phew, that was close. Yeah, David, I think you've pulled this one back, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, wait, what are you weak to? How much health do you have left? Beam for the knockout? Amazing. Yeah, I'm going to make that my last game of the night, guys. So, to answer the poll, I can probably take some bulk for you, mate, depending on the quantity of it. And obviously, you'll have to get it to me beforehand. I'm going to be spending the whole day there selling stuff. So, whatever I'm selling would take priority, but I'll probably have time to get rid of some stuff for you if you want me to. Make sure it's labelled up correctly so it's got your name and stuff on it. Yeah, that should be fine. It's just a couple of shoe boxes, isn't it? So, drop me a message, mate, let me know, and that's it. So, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I will be streaming Monday next. So, yeah. I'll speak to you all later. And I'll see you guys at the weekend if any of you are in.